Hi, welcome back to the bookshelf of timeless classics from the Daily Better, a channel dedicated to sharing personal growth insights through great books. Today, I want to share with you an incredibly insightful book. Through its pages, we'll uncover 4 common misconceptions about money. There's a saying that goes, "Your beliefs about money determine whether your destiny is one of wealth or poverty." So, what are your beliefs about money? And more importantly, are they right? The book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, invites us to challenge many of the conventional views we hold about wealth. It gently reminds us to steer clear of misguided thinking and offers valuable lessons on how to grow both our investments and our personal financial well-being. I truly hope the essence of this book, which I'm sharing with you in today's video, can offer some guidance on your journey toward financial independence and growth. Right at the beginning of the book, the author introduces a story about an American philanthropist named Ronald Read. He lived a quiet life in the suburbs and passed away at the age of 92. Everything about him seemed completely ordinary until people discovered that his net worth had reached $8 million. Before he passed, he had already written a will, dedicating most of his wealth to charity. Naturally, people were curious. How could a man like him accumulate such a fortune? Was there some dark secret behind it? But after looking into his life, there was no hidden story. He didn't win the lottery. He didn't do anything illegal. He didn't inherit a single penny. The only thing he did was consistently save the money he earned and invest it long term. In contrast, there's another man named Richard Foscone, a Harvard MBA graduate. He went on to become a senior executive and had a wildly successful career in finance. By the age of 40, he had already retired early. But just a few years into retirement, he borrowed a massive amount of money from the bank to rebuild his luxury mansion. It was expanded with all kinds of lavish features, more bathrooms, upscale furnishings, and even 2 large swimming pools. This house became his playground, where he hosted extravagant parties. The maintenance alone cost $90,000 a month. His lifestyle was nothing short of opulent, frequent parties, lavish spending, no expenses spared. But in 2008, the financial crisis hit. In the blink of an eye, a large portion of his wealth disappeared. Coupled with enormous bank debts and low liquidity assets, he quickly went bankrupt. These 2 stories show us something powerful. Building wealth through consistent saving and investing is what keeps money moving in the right direction. No matter how much you earn, if you're always chasing material luxury, it may never feel like enough and you may never find peace. Now, let's dive into the 4 beliefs about money that we should all understand as early as possible. The first mistake, never feeling content with what you already have. The book tells a story that illustrates this perfectly. Back in 1920, Jesse Livermore, a remarkably successful stock trader, quickly rose to become one of the wealthiest men in America. That success only made him more confident, hungry for even greater achievement. Fueled by ambition, he borrowed a huge sum of money to invest further in the stock market. But due to a moment of miscalculation, he lost everything in an instant. He fell into a deep well of debt and eventually went bankrupt. At the same time, his marriage began to unravel. His wife left him. Faced with both financial ruin and emotional devastation, he ended his life in his own home. Another story is that of Rajat Gupta, former chairman of the world-renowned consulting firm McKinsey & Company. He had amassed a tremendous fortune, nearly $1 billion. But to Rajat, it wasn't enough. He still wanted more. He wanted to enter the world of billionaires. That desire drove him to make unethical decisions, attempting to profit from insider information in the stock market. In the end, he was exposed and sentenced to 2 years in prison. In a blink, his reputation and career were destroyed. Human desire for wealth and material things has no natural endpoint. When we acquire one thing, we immediately crave the next. Our greed is bottomless. It's simply part of our nature. From one perspective, that drive can fuel our ambitions and push us to grow financially. But if we let it govern the way we earn and manage money, it can lead to irrational decisions and unfortunate consequences. On top of that, comparison is another powerful force. In today's world, we're constantly measuring ourselves against others. There will always be someone who earns more than you, owns a bigger house, drives a nicer car. But the truth is, even when you finally possess those things, they often feel far less meaningful than you imagined, and they don't necessarily bring joy. Many of us spend our lives working hard to increase our income and improve our standard of living. But we must learn to recognize the point where enough is enough. So what can we do? Remember these 4 things. First, compare less. Stop measuring yourself against others and what they have. Second, chase fewer trends. Third, don't let yourself be consumed by what others think of you. And finally, appreciate what you already have. When you embrace these 4 principles, you may find that happiness becomes much easier to attain. The second mistake, thinking you need to spend money to earn other people's respect. The author points out an interesting psychological observation. Imagine walking down the street and seeing a beautiful, expensive car. If you pause and look inward for a moment, you'll likely notice this. Most of us don't immediately think, "Wow, the person driving that must be successful and wealthy." Instead, we think, "If I had a car like that, people would see me as someone successful." Here's something worth paying close attention to. People often try to use external things to signal their success. But in reality, most people don't care who owns those things, they only notice the things themselves. So trying to gain respect through material possessions is fundamentally flawed. Many times when you crave a beautiful home, a sleek car, or an expensive item, deep down what you're really craving is the admiration and validation that you think those things will bring. If you find yourself wanting these things, pause and ask, what is it that I truly want? What need am I really trying to fill? Because the truth is, no amount of luxury will ever guarantee genuine respect. That kind of respect doesn't come from what you own, it comes from who you are. If you want to be respected, learn to live with humility and show empathy to those around you. Third, real wealth is what we don't see. The author shares a personal story from his younger days. He had a friend named Roger, the same age as him. No one really knew what Roger did for a living, but while still young, he owned a sleek Mercedes. Naturally, the author felt a bit of admiration, but not long after, he saw Roger driving a Honda instead. Curious, he asked what happened and learned that Roger had fallen behind on his car payments. The bank had repossessed the Mercedes. That moment completely changed the author's perspective on money, sparking deeper reflections on what wealth truly means. In America, this kind of situation isn't rare. People often judge financial success based on what they can see with their eyes: big houses, fancy cars, the glamorous lifestyles showcased on social media. But these things don't necessarily represent true wealth. When we see someone driving a $100,000 car, what we should be thinking is, their bank account is now $100,000 smaller, or worse, they may be shouldering a $100,000 loan just to afford that car. What we can't see is how much they actually have in savings or how much they've invested. Having money isn't the same as having wealth. Having money means earning income every month. Having wealth means holding on to that money, owning assets that grow in value or generate returns. Someone who's financing a $100,000 car clearly makes enough to pay the monthly installments. So yes, they have money. But whether they have wealth, that's a question we can't answer just by looking. Often, truly wealthy people are quietly frugal. Their money is working for them through investments or businesses growing quietly in the background. And here lies the blind spot that trips up so many: we can't see other people's assets. So we instinctively measure success by the external things they show us. And humans are great imitators. We unconsciously start copying the spending habits of those we assume are successful. Before long, we start believing that to look successful, we must own the same things. But here's the truth. Many of the truly wealthy live simply, and many who look wealthy are quietly on the brink of bankruptcy. So if your goal is to become like the flashy lives you see, to chase a lifestyle of glamour and luxury, pause and ask yourself why. Reconsider what success actually means to you. The author puts it perfectly. Most people want to have $1 million, but deep down, what they really want is to spend $1 million. And here's a simple philosophy about money. Spending money to prove you have money is the fastest way to run out of money. Be rational, be intentional, take control of your money, don't let it control you. Fourth, true wealth gives us freedom. Those who live for pleasure often say, "You can't take your money with you when you die," and so they believe that saving money is pointless. But the author of this book invites us to see it differently. Beyond material things, freedom is what offers the highest return. Freedom means having the ability to control your life and your time. A study from the University of Michigan found that the more choices people have, the easier it is for them to feel happy. When you have the freedom to spend time with the people you love, to do the kind of work that brings you joy, it brings a deeper happiness than owning a big house or climbing the corporate ladder. Saving money doesn't happen in leaps, it's built little by little. Over time, that accumulation gives you independence. And here's a shift in mindset to consider. Money that's sitting unused isn't meaningless, it's what gives you more choices, more flexibility with your time. For example, if you've saved up a year's worth of living expenses, then for that entire year, you've bought yourself freedom. You get to step back, reflect, and find work that truly aligns with who you are, instead of staying stuck in a job that drains you every day. The more you save, the more options you'll have. You could choose a job that pays less but gives you more time. You could avoid overtime and reclaim your evenings. And with that extra time, you can do the things you love, pursue personal goals, and build a life that feels meaningful to you. Use your money to buy back your time and your freedom, because very few luxurious things can truly give you a life that feels both free and fulfilling. Today, we are richer than generations before us, and yet research shows that 45% of people still feel stressed and unhappy. The author believes it's because many of us are stuck in the mindset of spending to keep up. We buy more expensive things, but in doing so, we sacrifice the right to control our time. For example, if someone buys something far beyond their means, they're not just paying in dollars, they're tying themselves to a job they can't leave. Until that debt is gone, they lose the ability to choose a different life path. That object owns their time. The author also recommends a book called 30 Lessons for Living, which gathered insights from interviews with 1,000 elderly people reflecting on their life experience. Not one person said, "To be happy, you have to make more money to buy the things you want." No one said, "You need to be richer than your peers to be successful." And no one said, "Only the wealthy get to be truly happy." What they valued was much simpler: time with friends, being a meaningful part of a community, and being close to family. And finally, the author shares a personal truth. Even though his income has increased over the years, his lifestyle hasn't changed. He lives in a modest house with his wife and kids, drives a regular car, wears simple t-shirts, and eats home-cooked meals. Most of his joy comes from long walks, reading books, and listening to podcasts, things that cost almost nothing. This way of living may not resonate with everyone, but we each must find our own path, one where fulfillment comes from more than material things. A life where our hearts feel full, not just our closets. As the book beautifully puts it, real success is stepping away from the endless race, reshaping your life, and finding peace within your soul. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this video has given you something to reflect on in your own journey with money. Thank you for listening to The Daily Better, a channel dedicated to sharing personal growth insights through great books. If you found today's video helpful, please share it with someone who might need it. Support us by clicking like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss our weekly uploads. And if you have any thoughts or feelings to share, drop them in the comments below. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in the next video.